This news update is brought to you by...
Hi, I'm Red Plastic Bag. Anyone who knows me knows I don't like cold. Sunshine reigns in my country. I love it.
Get your sun power.
This is the Noon Barbados Today update for Tuesday, March 4th, 2014. I'm Dawn Paris. The police search for a missing person turned up nothing but cannabis plants this morning. Lawmen carried out a search operation in Windsor St. George. No details about who they were searching for or how many plants they found were available up to news time. Issues surrounding the hauling of canes to a single factory are at the heart of a Barbados Workers Union fight for sugar workers. BWU General Secretary Sir Roy Trotman says he met as recently as last week with officials of the Barbados Agricultural Management Company and the Barbados Sugar Industry Limited to iron out the issues. The major one relates to the fact that the Portville factory in St. Thomas is the only one in operation, while the Andrews one is being rebuilt as a multi-purpose facility. Sir Roy says this could affect the workers' earning capacity.
Who may only be able to get to the factory once early in the morning perhaps and get back pretty late in the afternoon, and in between that time they will be spending most of their time beside their vehicles, just marking time, not being productive. And the question will arise as to who is supposed to pay them, because they've turned up for work, they're willing to work, they're ready to work, but they get paid based on the tonnage of canes that pass under the beam. So we are going to have that as a matter that will be problematic. Small hotels are being squeezed by larger operations that are aggressively discounting room rates to attract guests. Chairperson of the Intimate Hotels of Barbados, Renee Coppin, tells Barbados Today the larger hotels are lowering their prices to a point where they're competing almost on the same level as smaller properties. She says there's nothing much that can be done to put a halt with this practice, but it's hurting small hotels that are already operating in a reduced market.
We obviously have had a very challenging 2013. We're seeing consistent declines in numbers, and that is impacting on our sector very heavily because I've said this before. Obviously, when people are discounting and they're suddenly in your competitive set where previously they would not have been, and that's what we're seeing happening increasingly. That higher class hotels are now beginning to be so aggressive in their discounting that they're coming into our competitive arena. And if you're going to choose between spending $10 more per night, $20 more per night to stay at a 3-star, 4-star hotel as opposed to staying at a budget small hotel, then that decision, it becomes a no-brainer.
In sports now, West Indies coach Otis Gibson sees tomorrow's decisive third one-day international against England as a virtual final, and he says he expects the regional side to treat the game with that level of importance. The Windies went down by 3 wickets in the second ODI on Sunday at the Sir Vivian Richards Stadium in Antigua, 2 days after claiming an exciting 13-run victory in the first contest. Gibson says the West Indies are building towards the 2015 World Cup, and the side has got to look at the game as such.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
They are some of the leading ladies of Barbados, working hard to ensure that this island achieves its highest standards of development, but seldom do you get to see them in the forefront. On International Women's Day, Barbados Today highlights their contribution in a special March 8th edition, dedicated exclusively to women. Time is limited, so call Donna today or email her to find out more about this unique offer. Barbados Today, celebrating all the women of Barbados who inspire change.
In the region now, the United States has named several CARICOM countries as major money laundering states whose financial institutions engage in currency transactions involving significant amounts of proceeds from international narcotics trafficking. In its just released 2014 International Narcotics Control Strategy Report, the U.S. State Department listed Antigua and Barbuda, Bahamas, Belize, and Haiti as among major money laundering countries and jurisdictions around the world. On the international scene now, Now a high-ranking U.S. military officer is facing sex charges that could send him to prison for life. The trial against Army Brigadier General Jeffrey Sinclair is one of the few such proceedings against a top U.S. military officer in recent decades. The 51-year-old is accused of twice forcing oral sex during a 3-year extramarital affair that he admitted to having with a junior female officer. And that's been the noon update. Join us again at 6 this evening. Until then, log on to www.barbadostoday.bb, subscribe to our e-paper, and like us on Facebook to get more news and sports. I'm Dawn Paris.
This news update is brought to you by
Hi, I'm Red Plastic Bag. Anyone who knows me knows I don't like cold. Sunshine reigns in my country. I love it.
Get your sun power.